6 and my feelings are mixed. 7, 8, 9, I just follow the signs. 10, kiss me in the rain. 1, 2, 3, you're too blind to see. 4, 5, 6, 8, I'm taking the risk. 7, 8, 9, I just follow the line. 10, kiss me in the rain. Children, we're just children. Children, we're just children. Play with me, I'll play with you. I just want us to be true. Tell me that you love me too. Or just give me a clue. Give me a clue. We're just children. We're just children. Children, children. One, two, three, you put your eyes on me. 4, 5, 6, and my feelings are mixed. 7, 8, 9, I just follow the signs. 10, kiss me in the rain. 1, 2, 3, you're too blind to see. 4, 5, 6, 8, I'm taking the risk. 7, 8, 9, I just follow the line. 10, kiss me in the rain. Children, we're just children. Children, we're just children. Play with me, I'll play with you. I just want us to be true. Tell me that you love me too. Or just give me a clue. Give me a clue. We're just children. We're just children. Children, children.
Well, welcome along, everybody. Hope you have a fantastic week. We've gone through all the tiers, Tier 4, Tier 2, sorry, 3 and Tier 3 and Tier 2. And now we're down to the Top Guns, the best of the best, the Tier 1s. And this is SLR Season 3. And we're here back again this week at the famous Austin, Texas track. And I'm the Biggles for stepping in as this evening, and Mr. Pineapples stepping in the commentary box with me as well. G'day, g'day.
Hello, hello.
Yep, unfortunately we can't have our usual commentators there. That's study and school and all that sort of stuff, of course, is more important than going virtual motor racing or virtual commentating motor racing. So, there are priorities, but don't worry about it. You've got us to put up with, at least during the qualifying session and the race. Welcome everybody in the YouTube chat. If you're out there, I'm reading it. I'm sure Pineapples might be looking at that one as well too, to keep you informed about anything you want to ask any questions for, as we're watching the drivers at the moment do some outlaps. Any news? Well, what's always a bit spicy sometimes with the weather this week, some of the races, but I'll pull up that weather situation at the moment for you guys out there. And so far so good. I think we're going to be having a nice hot day here in Austin, Texas for both the qualifying and the race.
Yeah, I currently have Yari. He's the first one out. He's medium tyres. First one to do a hot lap around the US. An interesting track, this. Very different in its style. It's a mix match of a lot of different tracks, and it also has kind of its own unique personality, if you will. So, first sector's very technical. It's more like Maggots and Beckett's in Silverstone. Second sector's just a massively long straight down the back. Kind of reminds me of Baku. And the third sector, again, very technical, so high downforce setup you'd expect on these cars in quali trim, because they don't have too many long straights to navigate. Yari's currently top of the pack. He's first in the pack, not top of the pack, he hasn't set time yet, but he's coming to finish sector 2 now, and 102.4 on the medium, so I reckon he will obviously not be first after all is said and done on those tyres, but he's pretty clean so far. He's hooked up every apex as far as I can tell. He's coming through, turned 17, 18 now. The sweeping left-hander, fourth throttle easily in these modern F1 cars. A quick left-hander in 18. He's gone a little bit wide there, he hasn't invalidated, but that's perfect. Now a medium speed corner left-hander again onto the final straight. You want to sacrifice all of your exit speed because the line comes at you very fast. He's a 102.8 on the mediums, and as we see behind, we have the Red Bull of Galileo going to finish his lap. He goes quick, 6 cents quicker on the softs, and then we have Ecos Justin now finishing his lap, or just starting his lap, sorry, behind Galileo.
Yeah, you have to go back to Ocean Chief, actually, is the next one that should be there. That's obviously a very good time there from Galileo, but it is a soft time, so you'd have to say Yari's time was pretty impressive, 132.8 on the mediums, which are generally practically around that 7/10 slower than the soft tyres. This track is a little punishing on the tyres, as well as we're going to see Mr. Ocean Chief. You can see there on the hot lap graphic, no purples, but personal best, of course, because this is his first lap that he's doing around here in Austin. He's about a second actually down in the middle sector of Galileo's time, but it's remember, it's only the first banker. You want to get in under your belt, just get a feel for the track. It will rubber in. There goes up into a P3, 2.1 seconds off provisional pole at this point. But yeah, the track evolves, as you know. It gets a little bit more grippier as the sun shines on it more. 1% chance of rain, of course. I don't think there's any problems with that today. You can barely see the clouds in the sky. Track temperature is going to increase by about a degree or so, too, towards the end of the qualifying session. So Zombie could have made a massive error there somewhere. But this person, I'd have to say, Justin, that racer, Purple Sector 2, in the Alpine, he's got the sun shining straight into his helmet as he's climbing his way around the third sector here into turn 19 and climbing just a little bit up the hill here, a little elevation change. Spot the apex, in and out perfectly, get on the power, and that's your turn 20. DRS open, he's backed off. Didn't want to set the fastest lap in that time just yet on those tyres.
So yeah, I think I see Ocean Chief, he's going for a second one. I saw Alexander kind of go through the first sector. I think he's severely messed up that first sector. He was wide in 2 corners, missed the apex in 1, so he's going to back off, I think, and go for another lap, unless he wants this banker to go, but I think he'd be on par with kind of Yari's time on the medium, so I don't think we'd want that one to go through. Here we are with SLR Chief. Definitely looks like he's pushing around the third sector, so definitely setting a second lap time on these softs, and probably going to go out again on another pair of softs later. Well, I should hope so. He's not going to give up with 11 minutes to go. But looks like he's down to improve. He's got a personal best in the first sector. How is his step in the third sector? It was enough to improve, but not enough to challenge Justin. Still 3/10 up the road. But a 7/10 improvement, nonetheless, is a great improvement, and still more time to find, I'm sure, from SLR Ocean Chief.
Zombie Kebab just invalidated his lap, and Alexander's is backing off completely to start that lap, as you'd mentioned. He made a little bit of a mistake there. Oh yeah, Ocean Chief's first sector was very, very slow, so I think that's just the reason why his time did not get too well. But here we are. We're going on board with the McLaren driver. Sorry, Mercedes driver, of course, of Alexander right now. We'll see what he's doing as he climbs up into the hill. Overtaking opportunities are here, no doubt, in that track into turn one. And if you don't get it right, well, you're crazy if you want to try to do any overtaking through the S's here. As I said, like Beckett's, Magus, and Chapel, but on steroids, really. Because if you're going to do anything better, you do it bigger and better in Texas, which they did with the S's. And it continues, doesn't it, as it flows uphill a little bit and then swings back over there. That's what I mean. If you try to overtake through there, somebody's going to be into the fence. And then right down here, heavy braking, obviously. And this is where you want to get... I mean, you can overtake into 11, but it's very difficult and risky because, of course, there's massive DRS straight down here where you got the activation here. That's where you're going to get an overtake, really, anyway. If you can line it up right and do it perfectly as we go all the way down to 12. That's where the action zone will be for a lot of the drivers this evening. He goes really, really wide, of course. Completely missed his braking point. And he's going to have to probably do it all over again, unless he just wants to commit to this lap just for a time. He's invalidated now anyway. Oh, so it's Fox. Cheers, I went back. So he didn't invalidate, my bad. He's still going.
Fox invalidated, I think, at the same time. Fox has set a purple sector 1 and sector 2, and then invalidated his third, which is a shame for him.
Yeah, just to double check that, because it's the tricky thing with the spectator menu, mate. It wasn't showing any purple to me, just personal bests. That's just a bug that we could be on the spectator. But I have the hot lap graphic overlay, and that is accurate. I'll pull that up there as well on board with Copy. And Copy in the Williams, as you can see, he has set a purple there for the first sector. Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate. It's just that the way that the telemetry is a little bit out, but I think it's only for the spectators. I don't believe it is for the drivers. At least they are well aware if they're getting it purple or not. So Copy comes down to that braking hit, the action zone of 12. And you can take me on board from this from a driver, Mr. Pineapple, how he's performing.
On Copy?
Yes, please.
Okay, so Copy, he's coming through sector 3. He's going to come down to this, it's a kind of sweeping left-hander. He hasn't really turned in really tight correctly, but so missed the apex slightly. This is the most boring corner of the track. Just completely flat, just hug the inside curve there. Braking a little bit here. You want a fast left, just trying to swing it in. That wasn't as good as it can be, but it definitely is solid. He's really got nicely hooked up the apex there. And something I think is a good thing to mention, he's just gone fastest by 4/10, which is incredible. That's a 1:31.8. It's a really, really fast time. But something I should mention, that last corner, I keep mentioning it, is you have to sacrifice all of your exit speed because the line comes at you so quickly on this track.
Oh, interesting. I was not aware of that. Now, that's the good thing about having expertise drivers in the commentary box with me to provide that. I'm just a crofty. I don't drive. I obviously have some knowledge from commentating. Probably about close to 800 hours in this season, well, for this game. I think I did about 1,600 for the last one, so it's too much, isn't it?
I mean, that's way more than I think I'll ever do in terms of commentating, so your experience eclipses mine. I'm on board with Tipsy at the moment. He's just finishing his lap again through the boring, flat out 80, 70, 80 Napoli with the swing it left into the fast left-hander. Now brake into the medium speed, final corner, turn 19. You see here, he's kind of focused a bit too much on the exit, I think, there. So definitely a 1:33.1 puts him P4 ahead of Justin Racer and Ocean Chief. Definitely a solid lap by Tipsy. He's an extremely solid driver, so I would expect nothing less from him.
Of course, supporting that nice big green helmet, of course, being Irish from Northern Ireland. It is a tradition. If you ever know anybody, obviously, from Ireland, they wear green. It's very lucky to have a part of you green socks, green shoes, green shirt, green something that you wear. Of course, in this case, he's going to have a green helmet. It's a tradition, really, if you are Irish, to wear something green, as we're just seeing, unfortunately, Zombie Kebab see red, and being red in the validation, pushing that car as much as he possibly can, the McLaren. Danny Coe in the Ferrari, he's seeing red, but he's seeing red just reflecting off the chassis of his car currently at the moment. Hopefully he doesn't want to see any red on that track map next to him as he makes his way, or sweeping all the way around. I think there's a stadium section or something like that there to the right. Can't really remember. Haven't been to this track. Hopefully wanted to go to Miami, but couldn't get any tickets for it. And there is an invalidation, unfortunately. So I might have commentated cursed the poor Ferrari driver there of Danny Coe. What about Ocean Chief?
Justin just goes P4 on a 33.1, so 3/10 behind Yari, but on the mediums. So in terms of medium runners, the ultimate strategy, being second is always ideal as well. You don't really want to be like ahead. You can be ahead of the soft runners, but they can just get you at the start. It becomes very messy as well. If you're an alternate strategy is getting really involved with people on the soft tires. So Justin and Yari both setting solid lap times with the mediums. It's going to put them in great position for the race.
Yeah, the tyres, once again, it's pretty punishing on this track around those soft tyres.
Yeah, only lasting about 6 or 7 laps after quali use. I remember Thursday in Tier 3, Yoda was very, very hesitant to put the soft laps on after a safety car for 11 laps. So if you're that hesitant on a safety car, which don't forget is a free pit stop, then it shows that these softs go off very, very fast. And the hard tyre is almost never used here. So it's just soft, medium, soft seems like the only strategy.
Kind of lost you there for a second. With the internet connection or something of Discord as Alexander goes up with the P7. I think I've still lost you at the moment. Hopefully it's not just me. Apologies about the helicopter in the background. That's just a helicopter photographer that's come in to refuel. It's actually my neighbor landing their helicopter in their backyard. Whoa, big spin there from Alexander. As we're on board with the Mercedes, and it looks like he's just lost it coming into the S's there. Somewhere around turn 3 and 4. You will see that during a race as well. That tends to happen. I still have lost Pineapple, if you're there. If you want to. Yeah. Sorry, just we had a little bit of a breakup, somehow miscommunication there while you're in the virtual commentary box right next to me. So we've gone back to string cups.
No, I just disconnected because my Wi-Fi is horrible. Okay. So it's not a miscommunication. If that happens again, just continue.
Get a cable. Get a network cable.
Believe it or not, I am networked in. The Wi-Fi just shuts down on me.
But what are you using for the Wi-Fi? I just don't understand.
Ethernet.
That's not Wi-Fi.
Well, no, but as in like the connection, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Shuts down on me.
Not a problem. Yeah. I was going to see if Danny Coe was going to go out on those inters and try to grip in the track in, perhaps. People used to do that quite a bit, but they're not doing it anymore. It doesn't seem like it. But Copy is gone back out there and set another purple sector again, the first one. So he's a man on a mission here at the moment. He's loving this track as he's nearly 4/10 quicker than Galileo, and he's going even quicker currently at the moment, as you see. Let's have a look at his middle sector. I should come up to a trigger point, so it'll also come up. What's his top speed there? I think it was 319 or 20. I didn't actually quite catch that one. The top speed at the moment, it goes to the Red Bull of Galileo of 321. Most other drivers are 319. Gives you an indication that the Red Bull might be running a little bit less wing. I think Copy's made a mistake in that middle sector. This has dropped a little bit of time. Yeah, it's dropped quite a bit of time. 36.8. That's not too bad, actually. My apologies. 36.85 is the quickest. So he can make it back up the third sector here. Final corner. Crossing the line. And there it is. 131. First in the 131 by quite a bit too, nearly 0.7 of a second quicker than everybody else currently at the moment. With 2 minutes to go of qualifying, and what I'm really surprised with, Pineapple, is that two of the drivers you can see currently at the moment, Fox and Makenda, and Crystals and Iceman, are not setting his times. Crystals and Iceman are out. Fox is yet on a flying lap, but he's gone straight onto the mediums, which is, I don't know, quite risky. I mean, really, you've got to get yourself into the top 10. Which it looks quite good. He's just backing off at the moment anyway, unless I'm just getting a revving glitch. He is getting ready for his lap. I don't know if that was a revving glitch, because Fox was setting personal best, but he's a little slow on there. As Pineapple's cutting something up or doing something there in the background, I can hear. Makenda is on his flying lap. You see a bit of traffic up ahead. It shouldn't really affect him. Of the McLaren. Well, that will be the zombie kebab. Let's have a look at the flying fin of Makenda putting his time in. Actually, keep an eye on. Let's keep an eye on a second too of Yari. I just want to commit to seeing the AlphaTauri cross the line and set his time in. He could do a 2-run, obviously, on those mediums. Wouldn't be a problem. Goes up into P4. But the fastest man on track right now is Yari in the Haas. Because he's absolutely, well, he was flying. Yeah, he's got purple sector 1, purple sector 2. Apologies about the hot lap graphic up there. It's not showing the purples, but it is purple. 1 and 2, and this looks like a very good lap. If he can commit to this, this will be right up where Copy is, if not just ahead of Copy. There's an invalidation, so it will not, unfortunately, work out for Yari. He's going to have to stay in that unless he commits to another lap. That's going to really be pushing it for the tyres, as you'd mentioned. They are pretty punishing around here. We'll see in a second. What does the Fox say? Fox needs to get... He's currently at the moment in P9 on the medium tyres too. Once again, that'll kind of probably help them out during the race as the checkered flag's out, so everybody on a lap can commit to it right now. Finish your lap, you can see a lot of the cars actually are out on track. Fox is going to come around that corner a little early, didn't use as much of the apex as possible, into P9. Further back there, Danico has gone out on the inters. So, yeah, there you go. I think he's happy with chewing through these inters currently at the moment. Probably feeling bad for Pirelli, saying, you know, because it's going to be such a beautiful sunshine day. He goes up into P10 actually on inters 15 seconds down the road, but you can see Zombie Kebab. Very, very interesting. We do have Alexander on an out lap. Everybody else is on cooldown laps, so I don't believe anybody's going any faster. Alexander on an out lap, but he's going to be... He can't start a lap now, can he?
I do apologise, guys. My game is completely combusted, so...
Not a problem. It happens.
Yeah, way too often.
Well, this game is not absolutely the best. Quite interesting, as I said, like Daddy Co going out on those intermediate tyres. Yeah, you can see, and I think he's just feeling bad for Pirelli that they weren't going to use him at all today. So he's doing a bit of advertising. That'll be it for our qualifying session, unless Alexander on an out lap can somehow get across the line and set a lap. I didn't think he could. Well, he's actually going to do it, so my bad on that one. That was a very, very late out lap. Must have just got across that line. Milliseconds.
Yeah, it could also be a disconnection glitch for Alexander when you disconnect at your quality timer restart. So I don't know, maybe he's accidentally done that. If it seems really, really late. But maybe he just needs to...
We shall see. There it is at the moment. The first sector is showing him about 6/10 down currently at the moment from the first sector time. This is obviously, as you said, Alexander is bugged. Thank you very much for that there. Justin's World. So that means hopefully, well, Alexander might have to retire from the session. Otherwise, I've seen that time remaining get stuck on 001. Hopefully it doesn't happen. But we shall see. So any other news about the Formula One world of the weekend? We've seen a couple of people, you know, step down, step up. As
step down, step up. The Alpine. He's Alpine Martin. I'm going to butcher this name. Bedowski or something like that. He stepped down, didn't he? And then on Snafnauer.
Yep.
I think I butchered that name as well. He stepped down as well.
And the FIA are delaying their official report, obviously, into that last race, Abu Dhabi. And I'm stuck on the 0.1 timer, as we're seeing Alexander's car come into the pits. But there it is. It's clarified itself up. Thanks for that. I didn't want to do a restart. Obviously, nobody wants to do a lobby restart because there's tyre wear that comes into play, of course, and we don't want to get that all reset. Not a problem. We have to worry about that. Yeah. So that apparently, Lewis Hamilton's going to make his decision based off this report, which is going to put a lot of pressure onto the FIA, I'd say, because Mercedes are going to, be all upset with sorry.
want to keep their star driver, probably, so I reckon they'll be pushing the FIA to be like, that was not exactly the most fair thing in the planet. I mean, I'm biased, I'm British, so maybe you shouldn't talk to me about it, but I am.
Oh, well, so we had the results.
Shouldn't go there.
Jeez, those results were super quick. Didn't get a chance to read through it. All right, game on. Yeah, I mean, the big thing about obviously is going to be questioning Michael Massey, whether he's going to get to keep his job or all that sort of jazz. I think it's a very difficult thing. Charlie Whiting, apparently, that everybody loved for a long period of time. Charlie Whiting had a really good crew, apparently, that was surrounding him of, the marshals, not the marshals, of course, the FIA that make all those decisions, and a lot of them aren't. Michael doesn't apparently have that kind of like that posse that surrounds him with that, and something that apparently they need. I don't know. Who knows? We just have to wait, obviously, for the FIA to come out with that report and whether it'll please Mercedes or not. Somewhere along the line, it's going to upset somebody. Going to upset Red Bull, or it's going to upset Mercedes.
I reckon it's definitely going to upset either one of them. But Red Bull have got the constructors, so even if it goes against them, then they're not going to mind and care too much, I don't think, are they?
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm a bit like, why Toto's so upset. Obviously, like, really upset about the whole situation, because it's like, okay, it's your driver, but mate, it's your driver. You won the championship. Your job as a team principal is to get Mercedes to win the Constructors' Championship, and that's exactly what happened. Whether your driver wins the championship or not is up to your driver and how they perform through the whole season. Unless you let your driver down, obviously, with your equipment failing or something like that, which it didn't. Mercedes were a very reliable car all season. Baz reliable, same thing with Red Bull.
I remember. Yeah, they were, but in pre-season testing they had the engine issue, and then they always had apparently the engines kind of died down a bit. So
I don't know, less reliable than the Red Bull, I'd say.
But you still had them winning the races.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. With the rocket ship engine from P20 to P25 to P1. Really,
Lewis has to look back at situations thinking, he could have easily had that. He would have had the championship if, for example, in Baku he didn't make a mistake and things like that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when you look at how he drove, you got to say that Max was a very, very clean driver the whole year, and Lewis, he had it sometimes, and he sometimes just threw it away, from his own error. But that's racing.
Yep, that's racing. I think they all did. As I see you come back in, and that's what it always comes down to. Yeah. It's the same thing in these championships as well, too, in the virtual world. When I see drivers and they throw the race because they go, there's no way I can get a win now or something like that. But I'm over a season, of course. Do you want to come back to that situation when it comes down to the last race, and then all of a sudden you're like, I'm lost by one point or 2 points that I probably could have got if I did finish that race quickly. As they get ready, their standings, we'll probably pull them up again. My apologies. I completely forgot about that. We'll see if there's a safety car or something like that. We'll throw them back up there so we can talk about them, because we're back to line up to start this 28-lap race here in Austin, Texas. And remember that climb to turn 1, and you're going to do the race start for me, mate, because that's the rules.
Yeah, sure.
As we'll just wait.
I made it back just in time for the start, because my game is just absolutely horrendous. So I get to watch it now, which is great.
Excellent.
So we've got 1 light, 2 light, 3 light, 4 light, 5 lights, and it's lights out, and away we go. It looks like Copy doesn't get as good a start. Galileo's already passed him into turn 1. Up at the front here, the Red Bull of Fox. That is Fox. Sorry, he goes down the inside of the Alfa Romeo of Tipsy Bob. Galileo's made a place on Macon to copy and Macon and now go through the S's. I've messed up the start completely. Galileo makes up place on copy, and now Macon and Yari now go side by side through up the hill. Looks like Galileo's got a clear lead out in front. I do apologise, my broadcasting got a bit mixed up. There goes Makenda and Yari right next to each other. They go down now into turn 11. It's going to be a long drag down the back straight. They're going to be side by side as they now exit turn 11. It looks like Makenda's got the better straight line speed, but Yari's going to dip into the slipstream. And the broadcaster's going to catch up, and Yari's going to go down the inside. So behind him as well, just in the race down the inside of Tipsy, so a double move back to back. Looks like Yari's taken advantage of those medium against medium, but he's made the place now up into P3, and Justin was also able to keep the position against Tipsy Bob for P5 behind. He's still defending as they go around. Danny behind them just makes a move on Fox going to turn 15, I believe that is. It's kind of difficult to see with this terrible broadcasting of this F1 game, but I believe that as Danny going down the inside, I think the field has roughly lined up now into the order they're going to be. 3/10 gaps are consistent. Galileo leads across the line. 8/10 clear of copy out of the DRS of Yari on the mediums, and then it's 6/10 gaps all the way down to Justin and Tipsy, 2/10 gap, and then pretty consistent at the back. You see Crystals making a move on Sahandis, and they're going to switch back round into turn 1. That's incredibly close.
It's a ghosted car there, apparently. I think I've disconnected car there of Sahidis, whatever company I pronounce his name correctly, but it's very frustrating, obviously, for Crystals with driving through a ghosted car, as you know. So maybe some sort of disconnection issue or something like that with that driver for them. Hopefully get back in control of that car. It doesn't have the red X, so it just might be completely out of the session at this point. But there it is, Galileo leading copy. The soft runners up the front there, Yari from Makenda, Justin, Tipsy Bob, Daddy Co, Fox, and this man on board with Ice Win. Round out the top 10. Ice Win very close.
Ice Win, yeah, very close behind Fox. He's going to use the overtake on him down the straight, but look at that straight line speed of Fox. Even with the slipstream, he's not even going to get close. He's going to have to dive bomb him from more than a car's length away. It's difficult, but it's possible to heavy brake, so he's going to try and do it. He's got hugging the inside curve, pushing Fox wide, and now going to come down to this lovely turn 13, sweeping right-hander kind of slow corner. He's going to try and hang it around the outside. No, he wasn't able to grab the inside. He's going to dive bomb down now into turn 15, 16. This complex run, Fox out wide. He's going to try and get the position. They're going to be side by side through this in race trim. Then it's not flat out corner, but I think he's actually going to. Yeah, he's got the move done on Fox. So that's a really nice battle there. He's gone very wide. I'll break big one warning, but a really nice battle there for our whole sector, sector 3, and Icewood gets the position.
He did, got the job done exactly. But then, at the moment, he's got pressure from Alexander. As they climb that way up to turn 1 and overtake an opportunity. Alexander's on the soft, so he should be able to brake a little bit later, have a little bit more traction coming out of the corner, which he does. So he's got the job done. Fox, unfortunately, dropping 2 places now. But still early days. Looks like Tipsy Bob got past Danny a little bit earlier. Tipsy Bob taking advantage of those soft tyres, but once again, it's going to come roll in reverse a little bit later as, the crossover point will happen between the softs and the mediums.
Yeah, and Crystals gets a 3-second time penalty, so that's really going to, hamper his chances of making his way through the field, because 3 seconds in the first 3 laps, you now got to drive a clean race, not to be 6 seconds behind, a lot of clean drivers here.
Iceman's gone around.
Oh, yeah, he's done that on turn 11. That's pretty unorthodox place to go around, but Iceman's spun it coming out of turn 11.
Challenge at the lead as well. Copy putting a lot of pressure right now on Galileo, there it is. And, well, we're going to board with Yari because we're going to get a nice bird's eye watch of the race on board the Haas T-Cam because he's keeping up with him. And then you got Makenda's almost 2 seconds down the road. So there's top 3 just gun-hoing it. Give you an idea of those tyres.
Tipsy Bob, just on the inside of Justin the Racer, going through the flat out. He's on the softs to the mediums. He should try and make this move, but he's not going to do it. He's going to try and wait to the main straight, I guess, to try and get the move completely done. But he's really hounding that Alpine around every corner. In the Alfa Romeo there, he's going to get DRS. This should be a comfortable move. Justin's using none of the ERS, so Tipsy's going to do clean pass down the inside into turn 1. Looks Danny's going to follow him through there. It's a double move. Tipsy's far and away clean, but Danny can take advantage, get past his fellow medium runner, and he's done it into turn 3. So that's a really nice double move by those two. to now Justin loses 2 positions in the space of about 2 corners. So, Tipsy Bob and Danny, now they go again. I mean, I actually got a backhand view of this from Justin's perspective. This is incredible. Danny got past Tipsy Bob like on turn 5, 6. That Becker's complex. Tipsy made a mistake and going out wide, and then Danny said, "No, I'm not waiting for you. I'm coming through," and bars him out of the way into turn 6. And Tipsy had no response. So great move by Danny there. He's up 2 positions in a sector.
Yeah, but there's at the front there. There's a battle there between Copy and Galeo's made a mistake somewhere and he's dropping like 1929 stock exchange or like a Bitcoin. Currently at the moment, there's the battle between Yari, Copy, and Galileo. Get that right at one point today. That's the top 3, all just squabbling around left, right, and centre of those positions. Actually going to bring Makender into play, I think, as you can see just in the background there. So 2 individual squabbles going on the tracks. Unfortunately, we can only have one up at a time there. So Tipsy Bob and Danny, you want to get an overtake done. Just wait for this up front here to get done first, and then we can come back to you. We'll try to choreograph all the overtakes. As now they start lap 4.
Phenomenal by Yari to be in first now with those mediums. It's a fantastic switchback into turn 12. They got him past these 2. And Galileo seemed to have a problem down the straight because he was just nowhere, plummeting like a stone down to P3. So he's got a lot of work to do now to get back to his position. And Yari's in a great position, ultimate strategy in P1. That's I mean, the dream. And Zahandinas retires. That's the ghost car. So I think maybe he had an issue or a problem with the connection or the wheel, or I don't know, something. It happens to me all the time, and that's a shame for him. We're down to 14 runners in the race.
Yeah, it is absolutely unfortunate. So we're down to 13 races, as you said. Yari looking nice and strong.
13. Yeah, because Icewind was in 14, so my brain malfunctioned a bit there. My bad.
So let's have a look at the tyres currently at the moment for those soft tyre runners. And you can see the estimations currently at the moment are saying about 30%. 30s at the front, which would be about right. They're going to have a few more laps left in them.
Justin just makes a great move. Just a nice, normal move actually on Tipsy down the straights, and he's got that position on Tipsy. And if you remember, Tipsy overtook Justin, and then Danny overtook Tipsy and Justin. So now in that 3-way fight, looks like Tipsy's the big loser there. And Alexander now going to put pressure on him behind. Only 4/10. He's actually really, really close behind as they come through turn 17 and 18. So he's surely going to look for a move down this straight.
Not quite yet, I guess. You've got to get as close as possible as you can as you go down the main straight. You can see Tipsy Bob taking a different line there. He's going to get the DRS spot. And, the braking
not going to make it is Alexander. I think he backed up. He didn't use the ERS knowing that Tipsy still had the DRS on Justin, but that gap's 8/10. That's quite precarious for Tipsy. He's going to have to really, try and push to stay within the 1 second. Otherwise, Alexander's going to be straight past down the straight. He's already out of it, so this is really bad for Tipsy. He's looking in a very precarious situation, maybe going down to P8 now, from P6. Only a couple laps ago, but Alexander also 6/10 behind, so had a bad first sector days. Maybe gonna have to wait another lap, but Tipsy now vulnerable with that DRS.
There's a battle for P7 graphic that's currently at the moment. You can see that's about 7/10 off, dropping back just a little bit. Now the DRS activated on the rear of the car, as you can see on that graphic, and it'll help pull him in closer, down to 6/10, 5/10, 4/10, 3/10. It'll give you that advantage, but then you've got to basically just nurse this around until the overtaking opportunity. Maybe in the final corner 20, that's risky.
And Yari gets a 3-second penalty. He's in such a good position, and now that 3 seconds is going to put nothing but pressure on him for the rest of this race. He's going to have to constantly be wary of getting no more warnings. And Makender gets a 3-second as well. So Copy and Galileo now, those two in the top 4, that top 4 group, looking now suddenly better as Yari gets out of the DRS of Copy, knowing full well now his mediums are the better tyre, in a really, really fantastic position.
Yeah, but just to give you a bit of an update at the moment, a lot of the drivers are on 1 and 2 warnings. In fact, every driver so far in this race has picked up at least 1 warning. Copy's on 1, Galileo's on 1, Tipsy Bob's on 2, so Tipsy Bob could be the next one that comes up with that time penalty award. That will pop up on the top of the screen there, as you'll see soon. No doubt I'd have to say it's very difficult, isn't it, to, especially in the dirty air, to be driving around this track without picking up at least one warning.
Oh, look at Galileo there. Remember, Galileo was our leader. He's definitely going to drop to P4 now. He's out of the DRS of Copy ahead. And he locked up going into 11, so he's gone really wide. And it's just going to be a clean pass by making it up into the podium positions now. Again, like I said in quali, he's second of the medium runners. He needs to close up to Yari and try and maintain that kind of pressure on him as the other alternate strategy runner.
Tipsy Bob might have just lost another place there. He has to Alexander. I knew that was going to inevitably happen at this point, but still early days. Nobody's boxed just yet. We should see the pit stop window open soon for some of those soft runners. Naturally, they're all praying. Someone will be praying for a safety car. Some won't. Remember too, this is the best no assist league. So they got none of those fancy tools of traction control and all that jazz anti-lock brakes at their disposal. It's man versus machine in the most simulated way possible, as it looked like Alexander runs a little bit wide around there, but it seemed to be a problem. I don't think Tipsy Bob's going to be close enough to be able to do anything here.
Crystals has gone and just absolutely messed up that pit entry. He's gone straight into the barrier at the start. I don't know if he's picked up wing damage, but he locked up going into the pit entry and has now lost our position to Ocean Chief. And he's so unlucky because I just changed his camera as that happened, so he's going to hope no one saw that and it's on the broadcast for everyone to see, mate. So sorry for catching you out like that, but that's going on the embarrassing moments reel for Crystals.
I didn't catch it, unfortunately, on the broadcast, so I just caught him at the end of coming in there. Yeah.
Okay, well, take my word for it, guys. He lost that position to Ocean Chief. He's gone straight into the wall on the pit entry. Look at Tipsy, 4 tenths behind Alexander at the beginning of the straight, so he's not using any ERS. I don't know if he's going to make the move. He's going to close in. Really, he is actually going to try and go down the inside. He braked quite early and he backed off. Does Alexander lock up? He does lock up. He missed the apex, but I don't think Tipsy can make the move comfortably because he's quite low on ERS. Is Tipsy on 38 there? Alexander is also low on 29 now to 30 as he breaks for that corner. So they're both hemorrhaging ERS, trying to stay ahead of each other and close up on those medium runners in front, which probably isn't going to happen as they have all fresher tyres. I reckon that you're going to see a lot of Copy, just a lot of soft runners pit, as I was just going to say. And oh my god, Alexander's done it as well. He's gone straight on at the pit entry.
Oh, just caught a couple of people off. That's a front wing change again too, because that was a front wing change for Crystals that you'd mentioned. So that's, yeah. Oh, is it not changing the front wing? No. He must have been lucky to get away with that one. I'm not quite sure there's any damage. I don't see anything. So end plates are attached.
Guys, it's a pit entry. You brake. Honestly, they're going full pell into the entry. Understeer, they go straight into the cushioned wall. I've done it before. It's definitely an easy mistake to make. But wow, 2 really experienced drivers, Alexander and Icewind, both making a bit of a rookie move there. And I caught them both. I got them both.
You did. Commentating curses coming up there from the pineapple. At the moment, I'm on board of Galileo and Tipsy Bob, the other 2 drivers out there that are yet to change those soft tyres. The tyre performance graphic guesstimation is about 50% on that front left. So how much time is it going to cost him currently at the moment? Because the pit stops here are 22 seconds. And we'll show the gap 2 leader currently right now, and that'll give you an indication that where he's going to probably pop back out there around where Copy is. Remember, Copy was ahead of him. Copy's now 19 seconds of change, so he will back behind Copy. As Make Ender is almost within DRS range of Yari. Let's see if Galileo is going to box at the moment. Not yet. I don't think he's actually staying out for another lap, so he's pretty happy with his tyres, about 52% for that front left.
Yeah, Galileo doing 9 laps on the softs. That is further than I've seen anyone do, actually, on that. Oh, look at Alexander. He's going to just he's actually pushing Zombie Kebab around the technical 3rd sector, just showing how powerful and he gets a 3-second penalty for it, does Zombie Kebab. So showing how really impressive these new tyres are. As Alexander surely makes a comfortable move here down the straight. I can't see him not getting past. Zombie's not even using ERS. He's going to have to go down the inside. It's going to be a comfortable move into the uphill turn where he locks up a bit, but that's fine. Comfortable in those new tyres. Does Alexander make the move? So 16 seconds to Copy, and we know Copy's part of that front group. So Alexander really, he's going to hope for a safety car if he wants to be on the podium, but
keep an eye on Danny as well.
Difficult.
And Galileo. So Galileo's tyres are definitely falling off the cliff because it's just dropped to Danny. He's going to try to come back, but there's no way he's going to find that traction out there at the moment. Those tyres are absolutely punished. At the moment, I'm pretty sure the team are waiting for those tyres so that they can throw some beef on there and slap them for a barbecue here in Texas because they're going to be cooked, absolutely baked. Danny's up into P3 at the moment. So,
and Copy also got past Fox on those new tyres as well. So like you said, the tyres, like you said, cooked in the Texas sun and not giving any grip at all to these drivers after 9 laps on the softs, which is, to be expected, I think.
Yeah, so he's boxing right now. I want to keep an eye out where Fox is currently at the moment too. They're all going around the final corner, so they're going to gain those positions. What about Alexander? Will he get out ahead? That's going to be the key, I think, at the moment, because the Red Bull is exiting the pit lane. I think the Red Bull is going to have a bit of clean air. He will. So Galileo and Tipsy Bob is boxing, but Galileo's going to come back out comfortably, really, ahead there of Alexander. And that'll be a provisional P7, of course. Well, provisional second place. My apologies, because Copy up the road is already made his pit stop.
So if ever you wanted to see a tyre performance delta, just have a look at Crystals getting past Ocean Sheep into turn 3. So they're not even using it straight, just using the technical corners because of those new softs and the ridiculous pace advantage on SLR Ocean Sheep's hards, which is a very unconventional choice. I reckon that's definitely going to be some sort of button click slip a mistake there in selecting his tyre, because those hards are surely not what he wanted to go on. I reckon the mediums was what he wanted to go on. But, if you ever wanted to see a performance...
Yep, I think you are breaking up again for your internet. As I'm focusing on the battle at the front here, but I'll go back to this battle between Tipsy Bob and Alexander. And they've had their pit stop over and done with. And as you can see currently at the moment, Alexander's just within half of a tenth of a second and really lining up Tipsy Bob for an overtake here anytime soon. And you can see that there. Tipsy Bob's 11 or so seconds and change down the road there from Galileo, who's in provisional second place. Tipsy Bob would be in provisional third. Down the main straight. Is this going to be an overtaken opportunity for Alexander? I think he's going to try to send it here. Past Tipsy Bob into turn 1. And it is done. However, Tipsy Bob, well, he can obviously maintain his car within the DRS. He can try to come back at him down the back straight between turns 11 and 12.
I hath returned.
Yep.
Once again.
Welcome back.
What did I miss?
The overtake of Alexander on Tipsy Bob.
Okay, cool. And I just see Galileo got past Fox, or is that just in the pits? I have no idea where that's come from, but Galileo got past Fox just there.
Yeah, he did, because they're teammates as well. I'd have to say Fox probably didn't put up too much of a fight there, considering he's on the alternative strategy. Galileo picking up a time penalty there. And I think Tipsy Bob's got that job back again. Yes, he has, but they haven't finished yet. Alexander's taken it. Alexander also getting a penalty for that move. And I think Tipsy Bob knows that, and knows he's going to get that position back. Also try to force him in. Tipsy Bob's also on 2 warnings, so he has to be careful not to take that car a little bit too wide. Otherwise, he'll get a 3-second slap next to his name, as a lot of the other drivers have at the moment. As I said, I'd pretty much expect most of the drivers here this evening probably to pick up 1 warning at least. Sorry, 1 penalty. And there's another one coming in.
Oh, for Icewind, the penalty for Icewind. Yeah, definitely this track is quite prone to getting penalties, especially with that fast sector 1, where you have to be so precise on the track limits to get lap time, and there's so many tenths to be found in this sector. But Cody's are just unforgiving when it comes to these corner cuts. You go half a tire's width over the curb and instantly a warning there. It's very, very easy to do that. So there, like you said, you definitely expect penalties, warnings, especially when these guys are pushing so hard, fiercely competitive, obviously, to get those positions. So yeah.
If you look at Ocean Chief as well, too, on the hard tyres, it's putting a lot of pressure on Zombie Kebab. And we know that those hard tyres are not easy to drive on, but the big difference, of course, is that Ocean Chief's tyres are practically brand new, and Zombie Kebabs are starting to get to the end of their life, as it looks like Tipsy Bob might have got that job done there on Alexander, not quite yet. They're still going to go at it, and the Ajari has boxing. So our provisional race leader at this point in boxing, and I want to see where he's going to come back out too, because that's going to be key, because where's Copy? Copy's right here coming around the final corner, so Copy's going to be back in the lead of this race. What about Galileo? That's going to be interesting, because coming out of the pit lane right now is Yari, so keep your eye up on the left-hand side. There is Yari. So Yari's just managed to get very, very close, actually, to Copy. There he is. So there's Copy up the road there. So he's managed to split Galileo, but just fall out behind Copy. This would be a good indication, as I think, from Danny and Makenda that are up the road there still, yet to make their pit stops, as to, in and out, how much time, where you're going to slot the car out. The team's going to be crunching numbers, of course, trying to figure that one out. You want to get yourself in a bit of clean air. And that's going to be very interesting, because now Yari's got some fresh boots, but they are the hard tyre.
Yeah, no, it's really hard to do the hard tyre. It's probably going to overtake him down the straight. But that strategy call is very interesting, because it looks like these medium tyres are not holding up as well. He's going to go down the inside of Copy on the hard ones. It's going to be a comfortable move, which I reckon Copy will let happen. Yeah, Copy lets happen. Yari just cleanly passed, because he has no reason to fight this so hard. He's got those 4-lap old mediums, so he's just going to stick with him in the DRS and save ERS, I would presume. No, just going on to that strategy choice. So it's clear these medium tyres. When I raced here when I raced here yesterday, and then when I commentated here on Thursday, the medium tyres held up way longer than 13, 14 laps. So maybe Yari felt some form of the tyres were just going off. He couldn't handle them, and then he just decided to go in for the hards. Obviously, the softs can't make it 13 laps, and obviously you have to use 2 different tyre compounds. So yeah, it's an interesting choice. I'm really going to be interested to see what Makender and Danny choose to do now. Do they go long and try and go to that soft tyre?
Well,
yes, they'll be losing time, but that, like we saw with who was it? Was it Crystals and Ocean Chief? That soft to hard that tyre performance is crazy. So that's going to be really interesting to see.
Well, halfway through the race currently at the moment, just on, and Makenda, as you mentioned, well, here's your tyre performance estimation graphics. So there, you're looking at about almost 67% to that front left. So I think you're right, they are being punished. What about Danny? I just want to go back to Danny and see an estimation from Danny. There is from Danny, so yep. And that's a confirmation from Danny too. So they are 70%, these medium tyre runners. So that's got to be tricky, isn't it, mate? The rears are okay. Obviously, that you can see, they don't take as much of the punishment around Austin, Texas as the fronts, but and you're getting around 70%, eh? You must be struggling for traction. And they certainly will be, because currently at the moment, if we go on board with Yari, believe it or not, Yari, have a look at those delta times, because he's got the fastest first sector. As you can see, he's got a purple there, personal best for the second. So let's have a look at his lap time as he's come out of the pits, obviously from the previous lap. This is the first flying lap that he's done on these tyres. And I'm going to be curious to see his name pop up there as the fastest lap. There it is, 134.8. Now, to give you an indication, the guys up the front, they're in the 137s and late 36s. So he's shaved a couple of seconds at least out of those guys just on that lap.
Yeah, crazy, actually, this kind of tyre performance tyre war going on, strategy war, I should actually say, that's wrong. But Tipsy, sorry, on the inside of Alexander to turn 1, that was a really bold dive bomb. He's not going to pull it off, because Alexander holds around the outside quite comfortably, but Look at Alexander, all out of shape on that curb. You don't want to touch that, mate. That is going to throw your car off. And I think he's just learnt that the hard way. But it looks like he's recovered it well, and he's going to stay ahead for this twisty section. But just going back to Yari, like you said, he's shaved off 2 seconds. I think, was it 2 seconds? I mean, you have all the data compared to what I have, but it was 2 seconds in that lap. That's a really large, obviously, like undercut in the case of Yari, because obviously he's pitted already. Oh, Alexander loses it. Oh my God! Alexander has lost it coming out of 11. He has turned into that's going to be a safety car. He's turned into Tipsy Bob and has knocked Tipsy Bob out, and he continues himself. So controversial, and Tipsy is going to be
It's not a safety
the
car.
Bottas of that collision. Yeah, safety car has to be.
No, it's just a local yellow. It's just a local yellow, believe it or not.
Really?
Yes.
Well, I'm dumbfounded at that. Cody's, mate, do you want anyone else to die? But it's fine if that's what they decide. But Tipsy, I feel really bad for him. He had no mistake whatsoever and just taken out.
Yeah, I have a replay of that as well, too, that we definitely have to show. I was just going to see if Ocean Sheep is going to do anything about Icewind at the moment, because Icewind is still out on the original tyres he started that race. Sorry, no, he hasn't, because he boxed a little earlier for some damage, I think. Yeah, lap
Ocean.
4. When Ocean picks up the penalty. So let's have a look at the replay then. I don't know if you can see it up on the YouTube stream, but there it is. I caught the end of it, I think, as we were aboard right there with Tipsy Bob. And there, yeah, exactly. So you're right. Alexander just comes straight back in. I think Alexander lost it coming out of that corner, and then the car just swung straight back in on Tipsy Bob. We'll see it again in the replay. But I'm actually going to go back to the live entertainment at the moment, because there is some action between Yari and Justin. Yeah, Yari gets past Justin because Justin's tyres are still the same ones he started the race on. And are they pushing it at the moment, mate, to try to go straight to the softs?
Yeah, to the softs, for sure.
Okay.
If they went into the hards now, Yari's tyres are going to hold completely. He's going to win by 10, 12 seconds. And they know this, because the hards are not going to degrade that much. They're going to be losing so much time, but if they can hold on, I think Yari's actually done a mastermind here, because look how much. Yeah, here comes Justin. He's realised it's not going to happen. Luckily, he doesn't hit the pit entry, Crystals and Alexander. But he is going to box, not hitting the pit entry for new softs and Makender and Danny. So they're all going to. I reckon they all got puncture warnings from Jeff, and so they've all pitted to get onto those new softs and see if they last 10 laps. Yari is going to be in a heap of trouble trying to keep these 3 cars behind. He's going to have to. His tyre life will be a problem, but if these softs hold on for the 10 laps, which we have seen them do, we see them do 9, and they've got 10 to go, so they can hold on. But if they can hold on a good pace, Yari is going to have his hands full dealing with these 3 coming behind him.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Well, they're going to keep an eye on Makender, I think, too, at the moment, catching Galileo, because it's those soft tyres. After making that pit stop, come back out in P4, and we go on board with him right now with our battle for P3 graphic, as you can see at the moment, and he's going to really feel like he's going to love these tyres, aren't he? You can see the traction he's got out of that corner with the DRS activation already, and I think he's going to send Galileo into outer space on that overtake he has. And it's like, yep, stick that in your telescope. He says you're going to need a telescope to see Makender soon, because Makender's already going to make his way up the road. Almost broken 1 second already on those
within
fresh
3
wheels.
corners.
Yeah, next up his hit list will be Copy, so we'll definitely keep an eye on that. We'll still stay with this battle at the moment, because it is probably the closest. We'll pull up a little live battle graphic as well.
Yeah, but Makender, if you look at the leader gap, Makender is less than 9 seconds. Almost, he's pushing the 8-second gap to Yari. So if his tyre performance is a second a lap, say overall his stint, then this is going to come down to the absolute wire, down to the lap 27-28, to see if Makender can keep those softs alive and chase Yari. But if his delta, say 2 seconds a lap faster, then Yari's in trouble here, because those hards then just nowhere near as fast as these softs. He's going to really have to hope these softs wear out. And look at that, Makender, he's within a second of Copy already. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, he's already broken that
pace. He's 5'10". This is ridiculous. He's crazy performance delta. This is in dirty air as well. He's still gaining on Yari in front. It's going to be a DRS pass as well, which is going to help him, because Yari has absolutely no help in front. He's got, yeah, and look at that. He's right up on the back of Copy as it comes out 11. It's going to, like you said, if that's going into outer space, I'm sorry, mate, but Copy's gone into another universe because there is no chance he has of defending this. And now here comes Makender on the freshest tyres on the field. He's going to push like mad to close this 6.9 second gap, 6.8 second. As I said, this is why it's crazy close.
Yeah,
I can't keep up.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that for sure. I just want to see if Fox is going to be able to copy that same situation and take advantage of those fresh boots, because he's within the DRS of Ocean Chief right now, who's on the hard tyres and even older hard tyres. So I think it's only going to be a matter of time before the Fox gets Ocean Chief. He's going to get him into this corner, I think. Yeah, he can last the late breakers. There's Makender pushing 133s now. Give you an idea, it's 135.2 last lap for Yari, 133.4 for Makender. Tipsy Bob out there. Yep, we saw what happened there, Tipsy Bob. And Tipsy Bob, boy, obviously you're welcome. Jump into the commentary box there, and if you would like to explain how your race went or something like that quickly with us, that's not a problem whatsoever.
Oh, Alexander has Le Spun. He is spinaled as he comes out of the first sector. He's having a race to forget. I'm not going to lie, he is having an absolute nightmare of a race. So, he's actually in between Makender and Yari, so he's going to get ghosted out of the way now.
Yeah.
Blue flags. Yeah, there you go. He's been ghosted, letting out the way of Makender, which is the right thing to do.
Gives us a chance to got a chance to go over those standings really quickly while we have a little bit of a gap in the race. Because Makender, the man that's looking pretty strong at the moment, running in P2, currently about 5 seconds down the road now from our race leader. But in the championship, Makender is leading it, 163 points from Danico and Copy there. As you can see, the Alpine drivers are in P4, P5. Icewind, Jensen, and Adizi is not here today. Tipsy Bob in that P10 position. Unfortunately, Tipsy Bob is not out here to get any points today. Whether or not Williams can remain in this championship as well, but they're ahead quite some points there. This Copy still is in this race, getting some points too today. So that'll be it for our standings. That we didn't really get a chance to show up before, but I got it done now eventually. And Alexander's boxing at the moment. He's still within the top. He's still with possibly. Yeah, we'll go to Danny on the fresh boots there. Now catch Galileo. So that's, have they made the right decision? For sure, it looks like, hasn't it? Switching over to those softs, stretching those mediums very long, and then going to the softs, whereas the other guys that started on those soft tyres have gone to those mediums, and they're now feeling under a bit of pressure. And if I didn't spice things up anymore, there is rain on the horizon. It happened the other day as well. And there it is. There's an overtake from Danny. Not too much, I don't think some of these drivers can do about that at this point. As Crystals is boxing back at P10. And no, if it's for a front wing change, just put some fresh boots on there. Maybe go for a fastest lap. You're inside that top 10. It's crucial. You could get it. Fox now on Icewind. Once again, Fox got Ocean Chief just before. And look at that. That's just a complete move over there from Icewind. Didn't even want to get into that fight at all because Icewind's on 16 lap tyres. I guess it's just did the right thing. They are nursing penalties. We'll go into that penalty situation as we get a little deeper into this race because we're at lap 22 of 28. So we still have a bit of work to do. Drivers do have a little bit of work to do. Copy's looking pretty solid, but don't take it out, Copy. He's just got to make sure he gets within a lot closer to Makender, which is going to be a difficult thing to do at the moment because we're watching Danico put some pressure on the Copy. Copy doesn't have any penalties, as you can see next to his name. So that certainly can fall into his favour. He's gaining some more positions here. Danny wants to get past him. Danny has the tyre. Saw Danny already make an overtake. And look at the traction that he gets through the S's. He's going to have to lift a lot more too, downshift even, so he doesn't run into the back of Copy. Copy's obviously going to try to park that Williams in all the right places to not make it too easy there for Danny, but he knows it's inevitable that the Ferrari is going to be getting an overtake soon. Will the Ferrari do it here? No, he won't. He's going to just wait and just get a good exit. He's already almost got him, as you can see, side by side out of turn 11. And this should be easy peasy pickings for now. You can see the straight line speed on the Williams, obviously, of Copy. That he's going to be able to break just a little bit later here. Park the car right on the racing line and get a good exit. And then get up the road there and try to reduce the amount of time difference between him and Makender, I think. Because Makender's still pushing like mad to try to catch Yari. And this is going to be the interesting thing, because I'm going to now show those penalties. And this is what's going to be in Makender's favor, because you can see he's on 3. Yari's on 6. Danny's on 6. So Copy looking, once again, pretty good here to definitely get a podium. As long as Copy doesn't pick up a penalty. Copy's on 1 warning, so it's not too bad. With a handful of laps
but look how quickly Copy drops. He's 2 seconds behind Danny, so he's going to have to stay within those 6 seconds.
Yeah.
And with 5 laps to go, it's going to be a tough ask with those fresh shofts on Danny. But he's also going to have to fight with Ecos and Galileo.
3-way battle back here, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's Justin coming up here on Galileo.
Yeah, sorry, I just missed that. Justin got past Galileo as we were talking about Copy, and then now look at that. Justin's going right behind Copy through the first sector. Fresh soft runner. He's just literally pushing him around this first sector as he goes into sweeping kind of long right-hander, cuts back into that left-hander. You get an exit down to 11. I've got a view now as he goes down the hill to turn 11 here. He's not going to make the move. Obviously, today he's going to wait comfortably for that DRS. The very deep, juicy DRS that increases your top speed by way too much. He's going to come. He's actually going to get a before DRS line, and that's going to help him comfortable move on his teammate. I believe, yes, it is his teammate. They're both in the... no, it's not. Sorry, it's the Williams. I'm actually blind. As I was, the colours are all blue, so my screen writing is terrible. But that's a comfortable move by Justin there and Copy. And look at that. Galileo literally not giving Copy a second to breathe. He's right behind him. They're going to cut back into this very slow left-hander. Very tight as well. Very difficult corner on the exit. You have to really tether the throttle into this fast right-hander, not a left-hander. I've been calling it all race because I don't know my directions. It's a fast right-hander. This is now a relatively fast left-hander. He's going to keep the pressure on all the way through this sector, and I would assume make a comfortable move. And they're both on medium, so this is bad for Copy. This is not ideal. Look, as he's going to now come down the main straight. I've been commentating on this for a whole lap. Sorry, Biggles, but
you're right.
This is a great move now down the inside of Galileo. He's going to be now that top medium runner. Okay, 6 seconds of penalties is not going to do him any favours, but this kind of old medium strategies, he's now the lead runner. So, well, not net lead runner because those 6 seconds, but he's now ahead of Copy on track. So
Alexander's
he's
out.
going to look.
I can't see where.
Yeah,
Alexander's retired in the pit lane, I think, so that's okay. We can have a very late safety car, but we're not going to have one today. He's in a pit lane retirement, so I think he's just realised he's not going to get it. He could have got a point if something went wrong, of course. Crystals, meanwhile, did get the fastest lap. I do like that. Remember, he boxed, put some fresh boots on. I think that's very good for him. He's last place. Take advantage of that situation. There's another local yellow. I think somebody had a spin. Actually, I think that's the actual retired car of Alexander leaving the pit lane right now for some reason. That's the AI. Now, what's looking good at the moment is, well, Justin is looking good for that podium, because once he got past Copy there, he's, you know, that's to stole the podium potentially away from Copy at this point. And Copy's still looking good at the moment for a P5 from Galileo because of those penalties. The ones that always come back and bite you, because Galileo's got 6. Makender now, very close, you can see. 3.8 seconds down the road. No, I think his pace is starting to wear off a little bit now.
Yeah, do we have the time performance graphic for Makender and Yari? That would be quite interesting to see just how much those softs have dropped off, because he's on like less than 10% ERS, so he's definitely pushing so hard, but it doesn't look like he's gaining anymore. It looks like it's leveling out at 4, and that's even worse for Makender, because he's only got that 3. He's got to be within 3 seconds at least, and being a second out is just with obviously no DRS to help him. So he's not even net P1, which you'd expect when he's 3 seconds up on penalties. But Yari pulling out an incredible drive. I think those hards are going to come back to him. As this race goes on. Yeah, and it's going to be very, very interesting to see now with these last 3 or 4 laps. Can Makender make it into that 3 seconds? He's on 5% ERS. It's going to be. I mean, I would have thought it would have been a given, because, you know, like the pace of those softs we could see was ridiculous, but. We can see what's ridiculous was the pace of the softs, but I don't know. It looks even more like Yari seems to just be able to hold on. I'm not gonna jinx it, but I'm not gonna commentator's cursing, but Yari looks like he's looks a bit more comfortable than he did 4 laps ago. That's for sure.
Yeah, the tyres you can see at the moment on the graphic you wanted it, it's about 33% on the front. So they're not dead, but they've lost that extra speed and pace that he had. I think that's
what about for Yari on those 11 lap hards?
Yes,
do we have that?
They're going to be perfectly fine for sure. I'll pull that up there for you. Absolutely. Yari's tyres. Well, it's actually not coming up with the estimated data for that one just yet. So sorry about that one. A little bit. Yeah, software's not perfect because it is a guesstimation, but
I think
tyres are going to be fine.
The Yara will be fine. Yeah, the hards. But you know what's really interesting? If you want to go back to Icewind, focusing on Fox, you've got a very similar situation here with even more on hards, and Icewind is putting the pressure on Fox with those 6 lap. So Fox has got softer softs, and Icewind's got harder hards. If that makes sense, they're more worn, and Fox has got those fresher than Makender and Yara at the front. And Icewind is still keeping within the DRS. He's in fact gaining. He was out of the DRS only a lap ago. So I don't know. Maybe that's a bit ominous for Makender. He's going to have to pull something out of the bag here. He only needs to get within 3 seconds. He doesn't need to overtake Yari. So keep it clean is one thing, but getting within the 3 seconds is going to be another while keeping it clean.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So it's just a stage now. It's going to come down to a penalty battle situation because I don't think Makender's got to pull everything he can out of that to break that 3-second gap, and he hasn't been able to do it just yet because now they're lapping at the same times. So before he was shaving about 1/10 and 2/10 out of Yari's time, but at the moment now he's just matching him. So the crossover point is definitely coming to play where those hards are just a little bit better. See, Icewind right now, he's slowly catching Fox, but not being able to do too much about it just yet. He's going to have to rely on that massive DRS. So Danny picks up another penalty. You can see right now there, that Danny's penalty now has cost him potentially, if you do your math, it could have lost to Copy now as well. Copy in P6 with no penalties could very much get a 4th place, I'd say, here at the moment. We know Justin's on for a podium as long as he doesn't pick up a penalty. They're okay anyway. Both Justin and Copy are on 1 warning still, which they've been on for practically the whole race. So they're on the penultimate lap right now, so I'm sure that they're okay. They know that in the back of their minds that they can afford one more going a little bit too wide track limits without picking up a penalty. Icewind and Fox, well, this is obviously battling it for position because they're too far down the road there from Galileo to take any advantage of his time penalty situation. So, yeah, that's the battle for P7 on the penultimate lap. Nothing else is really changing. Makender's, I think, is just backed off now, settling for that P2 position. Danny's going to drop to Justin and perhaps Copy. As I said, Galileo will probably remain around that P6
look
position.
At Icewind. He's just going to go down the inside of Fox. He's actually played it very clever there. He's waiting for the DRS, but looks like those hards are actually going to come to him and be the better tyre at this late stage racing. They enter as the leaders enter the final lap. So this is for position, and it looks like Icewind is going to get this move. I'm going to change over to Fox. Is he going to try and fight back? He's going to try and hold around the outside. Try it. No, is nothing he can do. Icewind is a comfortable move. So I guess if Fox wants to get this P7 back, he's going to have to hold for the next lap and try and get the same move done on Icewind down that main straight. Next lap, I don't believe there's going to be any other kind of action going on because the gap seems to be all that big. So yeah, here goes Danny and Fox and Icewind will be the last action. And Fox. Oh, okay, no, definitely. Okay, I'm just going to discount whatever I just said, and Icewind is going to comfortably get that P7 now with that. So Fox is going to be just. If he passes Icewind, he's just going to be kind of not a victory lap, but a bit of a defeat lap, I'm going to say, because he's just going to get re-overtaken on penalties. So yeah, discount whatever I said. Never mind. We're going to still watch the action because there's only one there, and Galileo gets 3 more seconds. That puts him 12 behind. But like you said, that doesn't make a difference because Icewind is 24 seconds behind him, and Copy was already going to make up the time. So here comes Fox, just within that, just clinging on to that DRS. Well, we're going to go around at the moment there, Yari, because Yari's about to come around the penultimate, got the final corner right now here.
is going to see that nice checkered flag there, and Yari is going to win the Austin USA Grand Prix there. Just ahead there of Makenda, who was really pushing it there, but with that penalty, couldn't quite get it done. We'll finish with that P2 there. Danny, further down the road, but Danny's going to drop it out too. So Justin will get that final podium position, and I'm just going to be curious to see what's going to happen there to Copy. And Justin up at a P3. Danny, yeah, will Copy get that position away from Danny Kerr with those penalties? No, he won't. That's close. So Danny will remain that P4. Copy, Galileo, Icewind, and Fox. You saw that little switch around there because of those penalties. Ocean Chief and Crystals will round it out. Crystals will actually get the fastest lap as well. So he gets that consolation prize, of course, which is nice to have at the end of the day.
He weaves down the straight is Crystal, so he knows he's P10 by quite a while. He's going to have a lot of fun on this last few corners of the race.
Yeah, he's still going around turn 15 at the moment there, Crystals. So
look at these Crystals. He's going gear 1 through these slow sectors, so he's definitely messing about now.
Yeah, come on, Crystals, get on with it. We got some interviews, and I got another broadcast to do it straight
Crystals,
after this.
mate, it's Crystal's world. It's not Crystal. We got some stuff to do, mate. Hurry up, come on, come on, mate, pick it up. Oh, look at him. He's having so much fun out there. He's like, I'm 25 seconds behind. He's going to come around the final corner and round it off extremely slowly, in true Crystals fashion, taking the absolute mick till the very end. And there he goes. Finally across the line.
Yep, I just cut back there to Yari because they always have to make sure you cut back to the camera angle. It says Danny gets the driver of the day because Danny Coe started in P10, ends up finishing in P4. Quite surprising.
Who's your driver of the day? Biggles.
Between those two drivers on the top step, my friend. Yari and...
Nah, you got to choose one.
Nah, mate, no.
Nah?
Anyway,
Okay,
congratulations, Yari. You are the winner. Celebrate with that champagne, the bubbly. It tastes even sweeter on the top step. Do you like how I got away from that one? Anyway, you want to read through those results for us there, please? If I still have you. You might have
You still have me. So,
Yari won, made 2 Makenda to Ecos Justin, that racer, to ETA Danny. I'm not going to say what names. Copy, Galileo, Icewind, Fox, Ocean Chief, Crystals.
That's where you probably start breaking up again, as we see. Not quite sure we'll go through that one again real quick. There we were. Ocean Chief, Crystals,
due to lag, I think.
Yeah. Tipsy Bob, we saw in that massive accident. And Silla, I can't pronounce his name, unfortunately. The Greek driver in the Mercedes had technical issues, and I don't think he was even driving that car during the whole race.
I realised that as I watched the broadcast, you would not have heard me say all the names. So.
No.
Nope. Cool. Did not hear that. I did, guys. I said the names.
Well, let me get the right tier graphic up there at the moment. There it is. I usually do tier 4, but I'm doing tier 1 today. We're doing stepping in for tier 1. Let's see if we can get some interviews real quick, because once again, I said I have back-to-back some more commentating to do in a little bit. So, yep. We'll see if we can get, once again, Crystals did a good job there getting fastest lap. But it's interesting grid positions today, isn't it? Because you had Yari, Makenda, that was the man I was going to say before. Both of my drivers of the day, both of them. And Justin all started in 3rd, 4th, and 5th on the grid. Copy, who was in the lead of the race, dropped back into that P5 position, but started on that pole. But also didn't pick up a time penalty, which was crucial. Same with Justin. That's why they managed to gain some of those positions back. Galileo, was having great running, fighting at the back of the field there, but picked up some of those penalties. I think the Rolex time penalty award ended up going to the Galileo himself, because he had 12 seconds penalties. So he gets some sort of consolation prize, of course, a Rolex, just to remind him to be on time all the time and not pick up too many time penalties. So who would you like to bring in for the interview first there?
I think we should bring in Justin the racer.
Yeah, okay. Grab Justin, grab the Frenchman by the scruff of the neck and pull him in the interview box. Justin, welcome along to the interviews. Congratulations on your P3 there. How was your race?
It was a pretty boring race, to be honest. It was just at the start, I was kind of getting munched up on the mediums, but then on the softs, it was a breeze after that. But unfortunately, towards the end, I was so focused actually on keeping up with Danny with the 6 seconds that I didn't realize that I had minus 40 or 0.40 on the fuel. So that wasn't exactly great, having half a lap down of fuel on the second last lap. So, but luckily he got 9 seconds, because otherwise I would have been toast.
Yeah, exactly. Penalties. And that was something that was obviously very impressive from yourself and Copy. Both you guys only getting one warning. I believe you got that one warning early in the race, of course, but because everybody was tucked up and you're probably taking, evasive actions not to run into the back of somebody. And then the rest of the race, you just had that one warning all the way along. You said, well, it might have been a bit. You were driving, it says up there underneath a French flag, but I believe you are from the United States, if I'm not mistaken.
No, actually.
Oh.
No. I live in Ireland, but I'm
Oh,
born in
okay. So
France.
flags all over the place then. Doesn't matter. Yeah, but you did so. That's it. That was the ultimate strategy today. That really paid off for you guys, Makenda, yourself, and Danny, going from the mediums, stretching those mediums out. 18 laps on those mediums too. What were the time? I think they're about 60s. Were they 62% or something like that before you boxed?
Mine were 70s. all
70s.
around.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, because you had to push them that far in order to get those softs. And of course, when you guys came out in those softs, you just made mincemeat of everybody else that was on the worn mediums.
Exactly.
But today, Yari just managed to hold off Makenda towards the end there because, I think you guys were just, weren't they, Pineapple, like super quick, rapid, and up until about, six or so laps on those softs, and then they kind of just fell off with the ridiculous pace that you guys had.
Yeah. It was.
Yeah. Did you were you looking at Yari ahead? Was he just too far out of your reach for this race? Because he was the only one on the alternate strategy to you guys going early to those hards, and you guys all went late to the softs. So did you ever think that you had the right strategy, or did you think he had the better call?
I mean, from the start of the race, I knew I was going to do medium softs, mainly because we were only 13 racers, and I was confident that I can get myself in the top 5. But then, yeah, I mean, I knew Yari would, regardless of whatever tire he's on, even if he's on a Monaco setup on a Monza circuit, he'll always be quick. So he wasn't really the target, but I was happy that I got at least Danny and Copy and everyone to get a podium.
And you did.
Yeah, I just think it was well raced overall because you like Biggles just said, you got the P3, so definitely a good result for you in the race in the US. I think next week you've got Mexico. How do you feel about that track?
It's my favorite track, so I hope to get another podium.
Oh, arriba,
Or a win.
Mexico. Yeah. So we'll see you hopefully on the podium there with one of those Mexicana hats.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much there, Justin, for that
Thank
P3
you.
position there, doing it for the Alpine. Next up
Thank
on our interview hit list there, Mr. Pineapples, will be... Who are we getting next for a quick chat?
Fed.
Fed.
Crystals.
Yep. We'll grab the driver, the Crystal driver, the Mercedes driver in here. Welcome along, Crystals. Wasn't the best day, obviously, at the end of the day, well, for you, but you finished, and you finished also with the fastest lap. How was your race?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I'm trying to learn without the line. I mean, I was, feeling good before this race. The thing is, the qualifying I just crashed, and I started in P12, I think.
12,
And
yes.
at the start,
Yep.
I did a very good start. I mean, was probably one of my best. I mean, I had the grip that I needed to, so I was quite happy about that. And after, I got a small collision. I don't remember with who. I think it was Ocean Shift. And basically, I was feeling like the car was so understeery. So I also checked on the MFT and asked Jeff if I got some damage, but it says no. And the thing is, I had to pit to see if I got damage, and I did. So I mean, that was quite annoying to me because I mean, I had the pace, and I mean, if I was gonna pit before, if I knew I had damage, probably it would have been a better day for me. And yeah, I mean, after I just tried to pit with the soft to get the fastest lap, and I did. So I mean, 2 points, not so bad. But I mean, yeah, I mean, the thing is it's quite annoying because I knew I could do better. But I mean, that's it. I mean, it was quite good race. I just learned. I mean, I'm just being learning to drive without the line, and
Yeah.
it's not easy, so I know it takes time.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm happy I dropped it. So, and also the last lap. uh,
Did you enjoy going about 3 miles an hour through the whole of
yeah,
the
I mean,
lap?
the thing is like, okay, I just gear shifting, but the thing is like I also ran out of fuel, so I mean,
Ah, okay.
yeah. Also, when I was full throttle, I just I was just going so slow. I know, I just could see a better vision of the truck. Also for you guys on the broadcasting, you know.
Well, I was,
And
well, yeah,
and
I was just like, I was like, yeah, gonna get a move on because I have another broadcast coming up in a little while. So I'm like, yeah, cool. But you know, it's good
yeah, I
the
mean,
entertainment,
I'm sorry, but yeah, I ran out of fuel.
not a problem. But it's good to see. I like to see the commitment of finishing the race. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't matter where you finish. What happened? Quickly, what happened to your teammate? Do you know anything about Alexander? He had a
My
retirement in the
teammate,
pit lane.
wait, my teammate?
Yeah.
You mean at what?
So no, sorry, no, I'm all mixed up. No, it was a Mercedes. You were in the Aston Martin. Yeah, sorry, my confusion. Yeah.
No,
You
yeah, I
didn't,
mean,
you didn't have a
today,
teammate today.
Daisy did it. No, today, no.
Okay, no
I
problem.
mean, yeah, it was good in general.
All right.
So,
Well, we're going to see you back in
Oh.
there. I was used to seeing you in a Ferrari, but I'm seeing you in a
No.
Aston Martin.
Aston.
So,
And
Yeah.
Crystals, mate. So how do you feel about Mexico next week?
Mexico, okay. So, I mean, obviously, now I have to learn the track, so it's gonna hit different. But I mean, as track, I enjoyed, so I hope I can do well, to be honest. I mean, it's difficult to pass because the dirt here, but I mean, like, qualifying is really, really enjoyable, so yeah, I mean, I think I can do well, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, the world next week I'll win.
So,
right.
okay, we'll
Yeah.
wait for you on the top step of the podium.
Yeah.
But hopefully a better overall week
Yeah,
tomorrow
yeah.
for you in Mexico. But yeah, good commitment and good commitment to the holding up Biggles on the last lap with the fuel. So
yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see you obviously
Cheers.
in Mexico. It sounds like yourself and Justin sound like you're going to be sharing the podium because he's also confident he's going to do very
Yeah,
well.
next
there,
week.
you know?
Yeah, I mean, next week I'll just jump on the comms boot and I'll say I told you.
All right. Well. I probably will be back to your regular commentator, so you can tell them that
Yeah,
to
sure.
relay that
Yeah,
to
next
me.
week.
Obviously, just relay that obviously in
Indeed.
in the Discord that you can follow. So thank you very much, there, Chris.
Yeah, and thank you for commentating tonight.
Not a problem.
yeah, no problem.
See you guys.
Yep. I think we grabbed Danny next. I just saw him pop into the interview room there. The Ferrari driver getting the driver of the day.
Hello,
There you go, Danny. Yep, congratulations, driver of the day from P10 up into P4 and getting some crucial points there. How was your race? Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
that was a good sum up. All right, cool.
I mean, I could have probably had a podium if many reasons, to be honest. The main one being the penalty, like last 3 laps or whatever. But I didn't realise I had 3 people qualifying mediums at the front, and I did a 32.8 flat, invalid. So I'd have been in front of Yari. So just questioning the strat really.
But the strat worked for you today. It worked for basically you guys from those mediums to the softs, and obviously for our race leader went from mediums to the hards. But it just actually provided a lot of great entertainment too, wasn't it? Because yourself there, as well as
Yeah.
the other guys that were Justin and Makinder were having to make a lot of moves past everybody.
Yeah, it was nice to see a change in strategy instead of everyone just going for the same strat all the time. So, yeah, it's nice to see a bit of difference.
And keeping us
Once in a
entertained
while,
out there as well too in your drivers. And it's good because it was really good, clean racing from everybody today, apart from the one situation that occurred with Tipsy Bob and Alexander, I think. But it appeared to be in the replay. It'll be in the highlights, of course, and you can watch it back on the stream. I think it appeared to be Alexander just cooking it out of a corner, unfortunately, and then nowhere for Tipsy Bob to go but into the side pod of the Mercedes. So, but back to your race. Once again, like it's a good recovery from the as you said, from your qualifying performance that wasn't where you should have been because of the invalidation. But That's why the track limits are
Yeah.
there, mate. So over to Mexico.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
So not as confident
not-
as these other drivers sound like it being in Mexico.
Well, I just haven't done a league race there yet, so
Oh.
not that confident. So we'll
It's
have
the
to see.
second shortest track on the calendar too, just outside of Monaco. So
Ooh,
you can
yeah.
get it done pretty quickly there, and the burritos and tacos and are quite nice there as well. So
True. It's very nice.
excellent. Well, that's Danny. Pineapple. Any words? Any questions there for the Dan man?
Nah, none for the Dan man. Well raced.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you for hosting it and organising the event as well too for Slipstream
No problem.
Tier 1. And I think that's it. Yeah. Do we have anybody else? I don't think we do.
Brother
Brother
Bottle.
Bottle, but it's Brother Bottle.
He didn't race.
He didn't race.
Yeah,
no, no.
I don't think he raced. He's just sitting in the interview,
No,
confusing the hell out of me.
They're having
So,
a chat. He's having a chat. I think,
Having
to
a
the other
chat
guys.
with Crystals.
Yeah. All right. That'll wrap it up then. So, yep. Thank you very much, Pineapple, for stepping up there to do the commentary today for the Tier 1. You were available. Put your hand up. As I said, like the regular commentators, unfortunately couldn't be here today because of schoolwork and stuff like that too. So it's good to get that focused. I think they're having computer issues like you are too, Pineapple, or internet issues more so.
Yeah.
But this is a life, you know what I mean? Like anything. You got to focus on your real world life, your work and school and all that sort of stuff first. And if you have time, of course, and volunteer, as everybody does their time, it's fantastic when you can. And that'll be it from us. Now, that'll be it for the week of racing for Slipstream League Racing. And, of course, next week you'll be back with the Tier 4 with me in the commentary box in Mexico. So make sure you tune in for that one on Wednesday, I believe. Yes, Wednesday at the top of my head. I do too many of these. Thank you. So that's it. Any last words there, Pineapple?
No, none from me.
All right, that's it. So we'll go a little highlights. That's the ending. Good night, everybody. Take care. Stay safe. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.